Hello class 12, welcome back. In this video also we will continue with the inverse trigonometric formulas. A little high class, one step forward, okay. Let's see the question. Prove that cos inverse 4 by 5 plus tan inverse 3 by 5 equals to tan inverse 27 by 11. We have to prove this statement, okay. So since it is a proof that I am starting with LHS, so I am writing the LHS cos inverse 4 by 5 plus tan inverse 3 by 5. Now the thinking process starts from here. Check what we have in the RHS. In the RHS we have tan inverse. What we have in the LHS? Cos inverse and tan inverse both. So I am converting into like terms. I will convert this cos inverse into tan inverse. ताकि मैं formula लगा सकूं. Tan inverse something plus tan inverse something. We have a formula ना. Tan inverse A plus tan inverse B. The answer tan inverse में आ जाएगा. We have RHS tan inverse. Okay, since we have RHS in the form of tan inverse, so I am converting everything in terms of tan inverse. Cos inverse, I will convert it to tan inverse. Tan inverse is also here. I already have a tan inverse. तो अगर मैं इसको tan inverse में convert कर दूँ, if I can convert this into tan inverse, we can apply the formula. Okay, so let's convert cos inverse into tan inverse. Now how to convert? So converting cos inverse into tan inverse, we don't have any coefficients also here. If we have a coefficient here, then the problem will be there. Okay. तब टेंशन होगा. Since we don't have any coefficient here, that means cos inverse can be converted into tan inverse directly by triangle method. So first I will do it this time here. Okay. Select this cos inverse 4 5 is theta. So if we make a triangle, base by hypotenuse, calculate this, you will get 9. So now this cos inverse will convert to tan inverse. Perpendicular base 3 by 4 equals to theta. So now in the place of cos inverse 4 by 5, we can write tan inverse 3 by 4 plus this thing again here. Now we can apply the formula tan inverse A plus tan inverse B. Formula is tan inverse A plus B, 1 minus A into B. Okay, remember the formulas. Solve it. You will get tan inverse 27 by 11. See, that is equals to RHS. Prove again. Okay, the main thinking process, why we are doing this solution here. This solution is there in the question also. Okay, in the books also. But we need to understand the thinking process. Try to understand how to think, which one to convert, when there is a problem, when there is no problem, when to use triangle method, when we cannot use triangle method. These things you need to understand here. For that reason we are solving these questions. You understand class about this question? In the LHS we have cos inverse and tan inverse together, but in the RHS we have tan inverse. If I can convert this cos inverse into tan inverse, I will get a formula tan inverse A plus tan inverse. We can apply the formula. Okay, so that is the reason of converting cos inverse into tan inverse. Now, check this sum. Both the sums are together in the board because I want to show you something. See, prove that tan inverse 1 by 4 plus tan inverse 2 by 9 equals to half cos inverse 3 by 5 equals to half sin inverse 4 by 5. So, forget about this part. सिर्फ इतना देखो अभी तक. सिर्फ इतना. So, we need to prove tan inverse something plus tan inverse something equals to half cos inverse something. Now, see, half. This half is a troublesome. It will create problem. This type of thing was not there. We have an inverse here, we have an inverse here, we have an inverse in the RHS also. We don't have any coefficients. So we can directly solve the question. Convert into like inverse, solve it, you will get the answer. Since we don't have any coefficients here. But in this question, we have inverse, but we have inverse here but with a coefficient. So these questions are done a little bit different way. Let's start solving it. Take the LHS tan inverse 1 by 4, tan inverse 2 by 9. Then this is directly into the formula. Tan inverse A plus tan inverse B. When we solve it, we will get tan inverse something. Okay. And we have cos inverse. We can convert tan inverse into cos inverse. Now see. Tan inverse A plus tan inverse B. Tan inverse A plus B. 1 minus A into B. After solving it, we will get tan inverse 17 by 34. That is tan inverse half. Now, from here, इसके बाद क्या करो? We got tan inverse half. If I convert this tan inverse directly to cos inverse, I will get half. No. If in the question the half was not there, then that question will be a homework. Because you got tan inverse, we have to convert into cos inverse in the RHS. Directly use triangle method. We will get cos inverse. Understood, student, what I am saying? So since we have a half here now, this half will create a problem. So since due to a half, using this inverse, since we have a half, that means we cannot use triangle method. We have to go for formula method because of this coefficient. Understand? Here there was no coefficients. If there was no coefficient, how to do? We got tan inverse. Convert this tan inverse into cos inverse directly using triangle method. We will get the answer. But since we have a half here, that means we have to go for formula method. Now, after solving the LHS, whatever you got, take that as theta. You got an inverse part, take that as theta. Because you have to use triangle method. Formula method. What the formula method say? Take the inverse part as theta. From there you will get a Trigno. See what the quotient Trigno becomes. Okay? And then find the formula between these two. This is the theory. Take the inverse part as theta. From there you will get a Trigno. Then see what the quotient Trigno becomes. That the quotient becomes one more Trigno. Then find the formula between those two Trignos. The same procedure I will follow here also. Okay, after solving we get an inverse. Take the inverse as theta. So if I am taking this as theta, then can I say theta is the LHS? Because LHS only solved and we got tan inverse this. And this tan inverse this I have taken as theta. Then what is theta? Theta is LHS. Okay. Now after taking the inverse theta, we got a tan theta half. Now at this point, we will think about back calculation. In rough, with these things will be done in rough. From this Trigno, what other Trigno I will calculate so that I can get RHS. Okay, understand? So what is the thinking process say? Normal procedure. Take the inverse part as theta. From there you get a Trigno. Next part is check the quotient. What Trigno it becomes. That is this. We have to prove this. So I will take this as theta. Okay, now shift the terms. First the 2 will shift. Then the cos will shift. So we have get cos 2 theta. That means this Trigno we need to calculate. That means using the tan theta value, we need to calculate cos 2 theta value. That was not clear here. So that's why I used rough calculation. Okay. From here what I have calculated, I calculated the quotient becomes what Trigno. This is the quotient. This we need to prove. So the quotient becomes Trigno what? Cos 2 theta way. So now we will calculate cos 2 theta and tan theta expression. What is cos 2 theta? 1 minus tan theta, 1 plus tan theta. Substitute the value. Okay, we got cos 2 theta 3 by 5. But we need to prove LHS equals to RHS. LHS is theta, RHS is half. That is from here, get the value of theta. First the cos will shift. The cos inverse 3 by 5 equals to theta. Then theta will shift. Then 2 will shift. 1 by 2. Now this LH, what is theta? Theta was LHS. What is this? RHS. Prove again. Okay, you understood? Now the next part. Next part is half sin inverse 4 by 5. So this one we got, see, half cos inverse 3 by 5 equals to half here. Only this cos inverse need to be converted into sin inverse. Where the coefficient is here, but we already have a coefficient here also, na? That means only the cos inverse will be converted into sin inverse. So I am using the triangle method again. I am taking the cos inverse as theta 1. Don't take theta because already we have taken theta. Theta 1. Okay, from there base by hypotenuse, this is 4. So convert this into sin inverse. Why? Because we need sin inverse here. See, from this to this, half is half same. Only we need to convert cos inverse into sin inverse directly. That's why we are going for triangle method. But here, tan inverse was not equal to cos inverse. We have half. So we use in a different way. Okay, we use the formula method here. Okay, so it's a question of combination of triangle method and formula method both together class. Understood? So we got theta sin inverse. Now in the place of cos inverse, theta equals to half. In the place of sin inverse, what I can write? Sorry, cos inverse, what I can write? Sin inverse 4 by. Again, from here to here, using this. Okay? Now see, you understand the difference between this question and this question. Now, this question becomes very easy if we don't have a half. We got tan inverse, convert directly to cos inverse, job cut off. Since we have a half, that's why there is an issue. The issue is what? We take the inverse as theta. From there, we need to check. We got it. After taking the inverse as theta, we got a Trigno. Now we have to check the quotient becomes what Trigno. That is this. How to check the quotient becomes what Trigno. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the RHS also theta. From there we got that we need to calculate this trigonometry from tan theta. So we need to find the expression between cos theta and tan theta. Okay, that is the issue here. And then we are finding the theta value again. Why? Because we need to prove LHS is equals to RHS. LHS is theta and RHS is this. I need this term here. Okay, class. So this sort of things, okay, we need to do only for the what? For that coefficient half. Let's go to the next question. Okay, now see the next question. Prove that cos bracket tan inverse again bracket sine bracket cot inverse x bracket close. Okay, equals to under root x square plus 1 by x square plus 2. Now the question looks very tough, but it is actually a short answer question. Okay, now see how. Why this is very easy. Looks tough because so many trigonometric functions are there. All are different. Cos, tan, sine, cot, but it is easy. Can you say me why? See, before inverse, there is no coefficient. Before inverse, we don't have a coefficient. Before inverse, we don't have a coefficient. That is balle. Coefficients nahi hai. We can use triangle method directly. Understood class? सिर्फ कोफिशिएंट जहां पे होगा ना वहां पे हेडेक है, सरदर्द है. Okay, now see, write down the LHS here. Now how to think? In the RHS we don't have any Trigno. That means all the Trigno will go. How come? Start from inside. With sine we have cot inverse. So if we convert this cot inverse into sine inverse, sine inverse gone. So we need to convert this cot inverse into sine inverse. We don't have any coefficients. We go for triangle method directly. So cot inverse x, theta 1, base by perpendicular. What is base? X, perpendicular is 1. X by 1, tan is perpendicular base. Then what is cot? Base by perpendicular. Base is x, perpendicular is 1. Find hypotenuse 1. Perpendicular square plus base square. Okay, under root. ये तो पता है मेरे को. Now, अब मुझे इसको किस में कन्वर्ट करना है? What we have here, sine inverse में कन्वर्ट करना है. So therefore theta 1 equals to sine inverse perpendicular by hypotenuse 1 by hypotenuse. Okay. Now write down the same statement here. Cos, tan inverse, sine. In the place of cot inverse, what I will write? Sine inverse. Sine inverse gone. So tan inverse this. Now here we have cos, here we have tan inverse. So what I will do? Again convert tan inverse into cos inverse. Cos inverse गायब हो जाएगा. So now my job is to convert tan inverse into cos inverse. Now take this as theta 2. Perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is 1. Base is this. Find this. Under root perpendicular square plus base square. Under root whole square is 1 plus x square only. That is 1 plus 2 plus x square. So now I need to convert this tan inverse into what? Cos inverse. Why? Because we have cos it. So cos inverse क्या हो जाएगा? Theta 2 equals to cos inverse base by hypotenuse under root 2 plus x square. Okay, now write down again equals to cos. In the place of tan inverse what I will write now? Cos inverse. So cos inverse gone. This is nothing but RHS. Job is done. Okay, if you don't understand in one go, repeat the videos again and again and try to understand what I'm saying. The main agenda is that we have cot inverse, here we have sine, convert this into sine inverse. We don't have coefficient, so conversion we can do by triangle method. Here we have tan inverse, here we have cos, and let's convert this into cos inverse. We don't have coefficient, that means we can go for triangle method. यही क्वेश्चन बहुत टफ हो जाता if there was a coefficient. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay class, now this question is actually wonder of the world, one of the wonder of the world. Okay, where a student on the first go will never able to understand. Okay, if a student never solve this type of question, he won't be able to do it. So that's why I'm saying this wonderful word. But if you understand, then it becomes very easy. It's directly in the formula. But the problem is we need to learn how to see that we can apply the formula. We need to learn how to see what we can see in the question, that we will understand that we need to apply the formula here. Okay, that we need to understand. The same question you will face in different chapters also. Okay, so see here, cos inverse x plus taking the LHS. What is proof that cos inverse x plus cos inverse x by 2 plus half under root 3 minus 3 x square equals to pi by 3 we need to prove. Okay class? Now I am writing the LHS. LHS equals to cos inverse x plus cos inverse x by 2 plus half under root 3 minus 3x square. Done? Now see nicely this term cos inverse something plus something. Similarly it may also come like this sin inverse something something minus something something. These things where we have a huge term inside cos inverse, huge term inside sin inverse, these are basically into formulas. Okay, now see how to understand it is a formula. Try to understand. X by 2 plus, can you see anything common? 3 becomes root 3 by 2. Okay, it becomes root 3 by 2. क्या बचेगा? 1 minus x square. Now from here at this step, in the first step we cannot understand that it becomes a formula, but as soon as we take out 3 common, now it becomes a formula. Now which formula? It is cos inverse. Okay, now which term will help you to understand it is a formula? Try to understand what I am saying. X and under root 1 minus x square. These two terms, x plus or minus under root 1 minus x square, x plus or maybe minus also under root 1 minus x square. ये दोनों टर्म देख के पता चलता है कि फॉर्मूला लगेगा. कौन सा फॉर्मूला लगेगा? cos इनवर्स a, यहाँ पे प्लस है ना, सो माइनस वाला लगेगा, माइनस cos इनवर्स b. द फॉर्मूला इज cos इनवर्स a into b प्लस under root 1 minus a square under root 1 minus b square. So ये वाला लगेगा. see cos inverse something into something plus under root 1 minus something square a जो भी इधर होगा उसका स्क्वायर इंटू अंडर रूट 1 माइनस जो भी यहाँ होगा उसका स्क्वायर. इनमें से एक चीज मैच हो गया. सी x अंडर रूट 1 माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर, x अंडर रूट 1 माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर मैच हो रहा है ना. ओके, दैट मीन्स विथ x one more term should be here which will be b, and under root 1 minus b square should be root 3 by 2 होना चाहिए. ओके, so let's see. So cos inverse x plus cos inverse x into क्या लिखूं? 1 by 2. ओके, a into b plus under root 1 minus a square. दिख रहा है? That means this should be what? Under root 1 minus b square. Let's check. Under root 1 minus b square. 1 by 2 whole square is 1 by 4. Check करो 4 minus 1 3. That is root 3 by 2. Yes, आ रहा है. It is coming root 3 by 2. So in the place of root 3 by 2, can I write under root 1 minus b square? You understand this? I am just writing in the formula pattern. So from the first step, we did not understand that we will get the formula, but we can see 3 common. So after taking 3 common, we come into 2 special term. Inverse के अंदर cos inverse और sin inverse दोनों में से कोई भी एक. Okay, anyone. Both the cases formula will be active. X under root 1 minus x square. जैसे ये देखिएगा, as soon as you see this inside cos inverse or inside sin inverse, x plus or minus under root 1 minus x square. Listen very carefully. That term will become a formula. Okay, so this cos inverse plus के साथ है, so I am using this formula cos inverse a minus because minus और plus होता है. Now matching something to something plus under root 1 minus first term square. So x into something. X by 2 I have to write something to something. So I will write like this. Plus under root 1 minus a square x square. That means the second term whatever we have here should be under root 1 minus b square. B is up. So many cross check कर लिया यहाँ पे. I have cross checked whether it's coming. Yes, it's coming. So I'm writing. Now we can write like this. Cos inverse x plus which is a, this is a, this is b. If you write like this, cos inverse a minus cos inverse b. Okay, तो देखो तो what we need to prove here in the RHS pi by 3. That means cos inverse should cancel out. X तो होगा ही. That's why I will write now opposite way. I will take this as a and this as b minus cos inverse x. So why I am changing it? Just for the sake of proof that, nothing else. Okay, the same question may come for find x. तब मैं इसको उल्टा लिखूंगा, तब proof that नहीं होगा. बोलेगा solve. Next type of sum is there. बोलेगा same question solve. Are you getting me? Solve. This is equals to pi by 3. Then you write cos inverse x plus cos inverse x minus. Okay, from there we will get the value of x. So here we need to prove that. That means x will cancel out. So we are getting like this. So what I got? Cos inverse half. Now, cos inverse half. Half goes to which angle of cos? Cos 60 degree. So cos inverse cos theta is theta. That is equals to RHS. Okay. Now, we did this now because of wonder of the world. Why is the wonder of the world? Because suddenly in such a complicated thing we apply a formula. How we apply the formula? First we are making it in the formula pattern. ठीक है? क्या क्या किया? x by 2 था, उसको मैंने x into 1 by 2 लिखा, क्योंकि फॉर्मूला में a into b है, something into something है. Next 3 को बाहर निकाला, something into something है. Here also root 3 by 2. So x and under root 1 minus x square, a and under root 1 minus a square, magic. That means with a, whatever the next term we have, 1 by 2. So under root 1 minus this square should be equals to 3 by 2. So under root 1 minus 1 by 2 whole square, 1 by 4 equals to root 3 by 2. So it is matching with the formula. Okay, then how to write this? Depending on the question, type of question. Okay? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now this question. Okay, now this question I will discuss almost all different types of concepts. Okay, and from all the questions, from all those types, what is the all those different types of solutions will have a common thinking process or a common aim. Okay, what is that common aim that you need to understand, and you can follow first method, you can follow second method to solve the same question, or you have some other method, do it on your own and ask me whether it's correct or not. Okay, so let's see the question. Prove that cos of sin inverse 3 by 5 plus cot inverse 3 by 2 equals to 6 by 5 root 13. 6 by 5 into root 13. Okay, now see, here we have cos, here we have sin inverse, here we have cot inverse, and here we don't have any Trigno only. If we don't have any Trigno here, what does that mean? That means all the Trigno will cancel out, right? Now, see, here we have sin inverse, here we have cot inverse. Now, we have a formula of plus form. How many formulas we have? We have sin inverse A plus sin inverse B. We have cos inverse A plus cos inverse B. We have tan inverse A plus tan inverse B. Okay, that means अंदर में अगर ये sin inverse है, if you convert this into sin inverse, it becomes a formula sin inverse A plus sin inverse B. Then you can apply the formula. Or this is cot inverse, you can convert this cot inverse into tan inverse. This is sin inverse, you can convert this sin inverse into tan inverse. We'll get a formula tan inverse A plus tan inverse B. Okay, or you convert this sin inverse into cos inverse. Convert this cot inverse also into cos inverse. Then apply the formula cos inverse A plus cos inverse B. वो भी चलेगा. So the first two I have solved here. The next one is your job. You convert this sin inverse into cos inverse. Third method, your job. Listen very carefully. Convert this sin inverse into cos inverse using Trigno method. Convert this cot inverse into cos inverse. Apply the formula of cos inverse A plus cos inverse B. Cos inverse last में कट जाएगा, directly answer आ जाएगा. Okay. Now see. First method, where I will do what? I will convert both into sin inverse and apply the formula. I am writing the LHS cos sin inverse 3 by 5 plus cot inverse 3 by 4. Now, this is already in sin inverse. I want to convert this cot inverse into sin inverse. Cot inverse A plus cot inverse B का कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं होता मेरे पास. हमारे पास फॉर्मूला है सिर्फ sin inverse का, cos inverse का and tan inverse का. So either I want both in terms of sin inverse, both in terms of cos inverse, or both in terms of tan inverse. Then only we can proceed with the question. Okay, so first I am doing this is sin inverse. I will convert this into sin inverse. Do we have any coefficients? No. Balle. Take this as theta. Use triangle method. Perpendicular by base होता है, base by perpendicular. Base by perpendicular. Base is 3. Perpendicular is base is 3. Perpendicular is 2. Calculate this. Under root 9 plus 4 13. So what is cot inverse becomes sin inverse? Perpendicular by base. Perpendicular by hypotenuse 2 by 13. So now see, cos sin inverse in the place of cot inverse. What I am writing? Sin inverse 2 by 13. Now we can apply the formula sin inverse A plus sin inverse B. What the formula say? Sin inverse A under root 1 minus B square plus B under root 1 minus A square. Apply the formula sin inverse A 3 by 5 under root 1 minus B square 2 square root 13 square 4 by 13 plus b 2 by root 13 into under root 1 minus a square 3 square 9 5 square 25. Solve it. Okay, after solving you got sine inverse 17 by 5 root 13. Now see, here we have cos, here we have sine inverse. That means you have to convert the sine inverse into cos inverse. Again triangle method. So let sine inverse 17 by 5 is theta 1. Don't take theta because we already taken this as theta. Theta 1. So theta 1 perpendicular by hypotenuse. Perpendicular is 17, hypotenuse 5 13. So what is base? Under root hypotenuse square 5 square 25 into 13 root 13 square 13 minus base perpendicular square 70 square. Solve it, you will get 6. Okay, so sine inverse को किस में convert करना है? Cos inverse में. क्यों? Because we have cos here. So what is cos inverse? Base by hypotenuse 6 by right. Now cos in the place of sine inverse we can write cos inverse here. Okay, so this is the RHS. Now here what we did, inside we have converted both in terms of sine. Now I will convert both in terms of tan. And what use your homework, convert both in terms of cos and then solve the question, you will get the answer. Okay, let's see. Cos of sine inverse 3 by 5 plus cot inverse. Now first job is convert the cot inverse into tan inverse because it's easy to convert. Reciprocal kar do. We have a theorem. Cot inverse x equals to tan inverse 1 by x. Reciprocal करना पड़ता है. So sin inverse 3 by 5 plus tan inverse ulta 2 by 3. Okay, 3 by 2 का 2 by 3. Now this becomes tan inverse. Now this will convert into tan inverse. Use triangle method, no coefficient here. So take this as theta. Perpendicular is 3, hypotenuse is 5. This becomes what? 4. So this we need to convert to tan inverse. Perpendicular by base. So now see, cos in the place of sin inverse, what I can write? Tan inverse 3 by 4 plus tan inverse. Now apply the formula tan inverse a plus tan inverse b. Tan inverse a plus b, 1 minus a into b. Solve it, you will get 17 by 6. Now see, we have cos, we have tan inverse. That means we need to convert this tan inverse into cos inverse. Yes? Now take this as theta 1. Don't take theta because we already taken this theta. Take this as theta 1. So now see, this perpendicular is 17, base is 6. Hypotenuse is what? Perpendicular plus square plus base square. Solve it, you will get 5 root 13. Under root 325 आएगा. 5 root 13. Now, this tan inverse need to be converted into cos inverse. So cos inverse base by hypotenuse. 6 by. Now, in the place cos, in the place of tan inverse, what I can write? Cos inverse. Again, we got the answer. The same question you can do in one. Your way. You want to convert both in terms of cos. Okay, fine. Well done. You can do it. So what I have shown you by doing this question by two different methods is that you don't need to follow the book's method. You can do on your own. Just you have to understand the basics of the things. Okay. Now why this question is easy? Why? Because of no coefficient, no heading. अगर यहाँ पे कोई जगह कोफिशिएंट आ जाएगा ना तो पूरा क्वेश्चन का तरीका ही चेंज हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे अगर फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे हाफ आ जाए तो अब तुम्हें क्या करना पड़ेगा? You have to convert this whole thing into sine inverse. So take this as theta. Again use formula method. Okay. Okay class, that's all for this video. Thank you.